Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome to the end. The end of Stellaris, and indeed to the end of the world, because we took all the strength we could muster, everything that we could put together, and we threw it at the Unbidden, and it wasn't even close to being good enough. So today, ladies and gentlemen, today I've decided we need to wrap up this series, and if we can't wrap it up with a victory, then we're going to have to wrap it up by, properly writing our will, making preparations. You know that bit in Mass Effect 3, when Liara decides to make the little kind of time capsule thingy, recording what happened, so even if they lose, there'll like be a record for the future. I kind of need to do that. I need to make preparations so that even when the Infinite Pond is overrun by the Unbidden eventually, and honestly I can't see how I'd stop that at this point, even then, I would be in a position where we can survive in some capacity. I need to start making things ready. And once that's done, and once I'm convinced we have at least made a positive difference, and we have a chance of surviving in some capacity, then I think we can wrap up the series, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's kick off with what needs to be done here. Which is, remember way over here, long ago, we found that lovely planet over at Heriascant that we thought looked so beautiful. What, just like the perfect place for us? Well, I've prepared a colony ship, and I've put, some important figures on it, and I'm not saying that we are effectively fleeing, I'm just saying that maybe it's a good idea to have some of the Mighty Ducks, the original Mighty Ducks, the perfect replica of the original spacefaring people that began this adventure, and have them way over here on this beautiful ocean world, surrounded by the opportunity to do science and all sorts of lovely, wonderful things. I would say that there is just the thing. And we shall call this place the Last Quack. This shall be the Last Quack. And we are going now to head over here. It's a very long journey for our colony ship that is now currently leaving Duckburg, because we're not quite 100% convinced that we're actually going to be able to stand up against the bloody bastards when they do eventually appear. We'll do our best, mind, and we can certainly do some things to try and hold on to Duckburg itself, but I'd say at this point we are now talking about survival, not victory. I'm going to deploy the clone armies on the planets that are of greatest importance to us. So our strongest clone army is obviously going to defend Duckburg itself. Whatever happens, I think we should be able to hang on to Duckburg. The Far Bill, unfortunately, may simply be lost. I very much doubt we're going to be able to hold on to that. The other thing that is incredibly important that we are able to save, of course, is scientific progress. So I'm going to send the Ganlarov army, who have fought well in the past, to try and hold on to the Bill of Progress. And then, of course, we have one final army that we do have available to us, the army of, well, it's post the Mighty Ducks themselves. The post the Mighty Ducks will, of course, escort our escape craft over to Heriascant, and hopefully they might just be able to help out a little bit defending this area if they have to. So I'm going to send those guys over here to Heriascant. They won't be able to land yet because the colony isn't even set up, but we'll be able to move them into position ready to do so. Now, as for our friends at Triptit, who don't quite know exactly what's coming, well, the best we can probably do for them is now simply funnel research and energy into trying to get those guys up to speed. It will take a little bit of time, mind. It will take, actually it won't take that long, it'll take maybe, 8 years or something, and we'll be able to get those guys up to spacefaring age. It is better at least that we get them up to the space age, then they will have a chance to flee, if that is what they ultimately choose to do. As we make our preparations, the Unbidden advance continues. They have completely penetrated the space of the Kithri, and that unfortunately means we now share another border with these bastards. I have, by the way, checked the faction menu to see if anyone would like independence. I may as well grant it, but unfortunately, at this point, nobody actually does. At this moment, they've all decided that we shall all go together when we go. And our duck friends have indeed managed to reach the Last Quack. Beautiful. Well done, lads. Let's get them a spaceport up so they've got at least some basic defences here. as well as getting them some nice food built. I've rebuilt at least part of a defensive fleet here, and that should not be all we defend Duckburg with. Duckburg, we shall also build a grand military station around here. Of course, we shall be building it as a Saw-class fortress. And it shall be right here, right next to Duckburg itself, our final protector. And with the last quack setup, of course, we can land the armies, just to make sure we've got ourselves a bit of defense here. Want to hold on to these worlds at least. It's important that at least part of our civilization perseveres. Oh, bloody hell. It would appear that several people had the same idea as me, which is a lot of people have decided to emigrate over to the last quack. Which is not desperately surprising, I suppose. I guess I should have expected that. Orbital hydroponics, if you'd be so kind. We desperately need some food. The last quack too must be defended, of course, so we'll be building a military station here. A Saw-class fortress to try and defend this place as well. It must be defended. And I would say, obviously, we're going to keep everyone lovely and happy over here on the last quack. It's almost nice to see it be so multicultural, by the way. The fact that we've got, you know, we've got the Bilnocks here. We've got the flipping Lolahandrians who have come here. Refugees. We've got plenty of the Mighty Ducks themselves. Any post the Mighty Ducks come by there? Yep, there's post the Mighty Ducks as well. No Kithri came, which is a bit of a shame. That's a bit sad. So we've got that. So we're going to give them the happiness zone. We're also going to give them the Xeno Zoo. You can totally have a Xeno Zoo as well. Let's just get the happiness going up a little bit here. Also, why are the robots miserable? Because you're xenophobic robots. That does not strike me as how robots work. The preparations for the end of the world continue. It's been a few years since we last spoke. At this point where you can see the Kithri have been pretty much torn apart. There's not much left there. They're just kind of being slowly picked apart. It's only a matter of time. To be honest, the Unbidden have actually turned most of their focus over here. The Jahabinad have been pretty much entirely taken out. There's not much left down there, to be honest. There's also been a slow expansion across the Rekthalar, who have struggled to rebuild, it would appear. Definitely, I would say, it seems that the safest place to be is on the far side of the galaxies from these bastards. At the bare minimum, the Lyrites and the Zikmoks do still have a strong fleet. It's not impossible that we might be safe back here. Plus, if they decide to come around this way, we're hiding behind a fallen empire. You know, I don't mean to terrify anyone about the state of the future, but in the future, every single month has 30 days. I'd never noticed that before. All of them have... Oh, bloody hell, the Unbidden just made a bit of a move there. Dear, oh dear, right. Yes, every single month has 30 days. We standardised the calendar at some point. Well, that's good. Right, the main map's become very, very unclear. So maybe we should move over to, yes, the diplomatic map. Over here in the Far Bill. The Far Bill is now literally the barrier against which the Unbidden may choose to throw themselves at some point. And when they do, we simply can't fight them. We are simply not capable of doing so. So as a result of that, we just keep flipping, doing border range stuff and all that good stuff. Yeah, ooh, Gene Warrior Army. That seems very, very powerful. Genetically enhanced super soldiers. Hell yes, genetically enhanced super soldiers. That seems like a good sort of thing to make sure we keep holding on to our planets. The Jahabinid have been pretty much entirely consumed at this point. That's only a matter of time as well. Kithri are collapsing. I'm pretty sure that their own vassals have abandoned them. In fact, their vassals are now significantly stronger than they are, so I'm pretty sure their vassals have given up on them too. The Empire has unfortunately started to be carved up here. We've lost Thrad, we've lost Zudra, we've lost Bindur. Fact, I don't know what the Unbidden are planning to do to you, poor little pre-sentient things, but I doubt it's going to be very good, to be honest. And we've lost Agol as well, so yep. At this point, now it's only a matter of time until the Far Bill is isolated and taken. I've just realised something very, very depressing. With the exception of the 3 fallen empires, the most powerful actual independent empire there is, the Imperium of the Pocky-Gank-Lak. These lads down here, who unfortunately, yes, the Unbidden are just starting to move in against, they have equivalent power to us, and their fleet power is actually inferior to ours, meaning they've already tried to resist and lost. So, literally all we've got here is the Fallen Empires. And the Fallen Empires, to be perfectly honest, their fleet power is apparently equivalent. So, I feel like the Fallen Empires are not necessarily going to be able to ride to our rescue here. The Unbidden are now easily the most powerful empire in the area. They are just slowly squeezing us out. And finally, I think I'm thrilled that our final act here is indeed the enlightenment has been complete for Triptit. The lads of Triptit have indeed been uplifted. Marvellous. And now apparently this is a bit of like a contested area by the looks of it. Because of course we have the farthest reach here, but they too now we have Triptit themselves. Marvellous. Who are, enslaved? They've enslaved each other. I should have let that asteroid wipe you out, you bastards. So they are fanatical materialist and collectivist and believe in slavery. Intriguing. Alright, fine. You know what? You lads have fun. I've got some really interesting things to tell you about the state of the universe. It's all gone a bit to hell. What's interesting about the Unbidden is they don't even actually want to take planets. They just leave them. You've kind of just got this abandoned planet here that clearly used to belong to the Tiles with a symbol of unity, now just left on an abandoned empty planet. I'm somehow quite sad. So maybe, ladies and gentlemen, before the night claims us, we make one final attempt. We throw everything we have before we start losing our worlds, because the moment we start losing our worlds, we'll lose our fleet capacity. Without our fleet capacity, we're done, pretty much. We'll just have to retire over here to the Infinite Pond and just accept the Unbidden rolling in. We'll probably have to declare independence for all of our sectors and we'll simply have to let everyone else take care of it as best they can and hope the Fallen Empires save us one day. Who knows, maybe they will. Alright, that's all I can really muster, and even then we are... Hang on, if I move this away from the planet... How much energy? Okay, we go into a pretty bloody big deficit if I move that away from the planet, but... While they're on the planet, I can afford it. So on that basis, as we've still got the money, I'd say let's just build a little bit more yet. Let's get up to 100,000 stack army for one final desperate push. State of the Galaxy is going down fast. We've lost Rukbar. The tiles are now basically collapsing. Rule is just within our borders. It would appear we have lost Derries, but no one really cared about them in the first place. And indeed, unfortunately, the Far Bill has been, well, part of the Far Bill has been completely isolated. Sorry, lads, I'm afraid you're on your own. There's not much we can do aside from go for one final desperate suicide attack at the main base itself. Okay, it's got to the stage where even when this fleet is in orbit, we're losing energy. So we are going to burn through our reserves very quickly the moment we leave orbit, but fortunately, at least, I don't think it's going to take very long. I feel like this will either be the greatest victory in our history or we're pretty much done here. Don't think this is going to be quite the 100,000 fleet I was hoping for, but it will at least be very, very close. One last time, lads. Bring them all together. 99,000! You know what? Close enough. Lucky number. And if we can't win with these guys, then we simply accept defeat. We just need to kind of head over, and I'd say we need to skip our way across what remains of this area down here. We can kind of work our way around here. Then over to here, what's this area? Sarkis. And then just desperately make a couple of jumps from Sarkis. Potentially down... Oh, actually down here. Down... Ooh. We could loop all the way around to here. That might actually work, you know. That could work indeed. I mean, this looks like I could make a series of safe jumps and then loop round to here. Yes. You know what? I think this has actually got at least half a chance of actually bloody working. From there, come on, I know there's a safe spot somewhere over here. That's safe. Jump over to there. That's fine. That will be a safe enough area. From there, we can get down here into the Jomar League. Hopefully, these guys are not going to get in my way, because this is literally like I'm their last hope for being not dead. Jump over here into the Interstellar Zulvan Kingdom. I think they, once upon a time, were a vassal for... Yeah, they were a vassal for the Kithri, but not that that really seems to matter much anymore. My little differences with the mushroom people seem so petty these days, don't they? Right, move down here into the Jomar League. Then we just hop, skip, and jump over what bloody remains of the Jahabanids, because there's just a bunch of areas that are just holding out, at least for the minute. There we are, nice safe island right here we can kind of move round onto. Now over, oh my god, look.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Whoa, what? Are we? Who? Where? Who the heck are we taking on here? Oh, apparently we've just kind of landed, like, on top of an extraterrestrial armada. Oh, dear. That isn't what we wanted. We wanted to avoid these guys, but I'll tell you what. I'd say we can probably actually more or less handle this the moment our bombers get flipping involved. I mean, I didn't want to actually have this fight, but... if we have to, we can handle you, you stupid gits. There we are. Now our bombers have got in. These guys are going to get torn apart very, very quickly. We're losing the odd cruiser. We're still at over 90,000 on the strength. They're starting to go... I don't know why these guys were even here. This must be territory they're trying to take over next. Big hits coming in on their battleships now. Yeah, this is working. We're still at 87,000, which is not perfect, but at the bare minimum, assuming they don't bring in reinforcements, this here will be our first ever actual bloody victory against these bastards. Battleship goes down, they lose 6,000, the bombers just keep on coming in and just keep on nailing them. Yeah, another one goes down. Oh, I love the bombers. The bombers literally everywhere. And how much strength do we still have? 83,000. Not perfect, but it'll have to do. What even happens when these guys die? Can they die? Do they just kind of pop? They just kind of pop. Intriguing. Right, guys, get out of there. Oh, what the... Right, that must have literally just been taken. Get out of there now. That was... When we started the jump, that was still... Oh, it looks like it's still a safe spot. I guess it's just not going to be for very long. Guys, seriously, just get on with the warp. I want you out of there. We've just lost an annoying amount of strength, actually. Okay, no sign of trouble yet. Just keep on keeping on. Move around the outside. If we stay within the boundaries of the Imperium of Pocky Ganklak, it appears they're not paying too much attention to that yet. And luckily my ships do have a very small amount of regeneration on them. Now, here, the Sovereign Urgalak tribes. If there's a jumping off point for making one final desperate run at the portal, here it is. 83,000 strength. If we can just get out there, take out those flipping little kind of stations that he's got, and then maybe get in on top, we have like just half a chance of actually, well, not dying. Looks like we can do it in 2 jumps. We've just got to do 2 jumps. What's completely insignificant? This place we haven't seen danger before. That's good enough for me. Over to Brianna we go, and may good luck flipping go with us as well. Onwards, brave soldiers. I've no bloody clue what you're about to warp in on top of. Hopefully it's not too flipping bad. 83,000. They can still take out a fleet, just 2's probably enough. It's not so much about actually even winning or losing, to be honest. It's... Oh, flip. Oh, flip. Okay. That's okay. That's not a fleet. That's just a defensive position. That's fine. Okay. That's okay. We've got our run right here. Over to Zyrak from below. We're going to be right flipping on top of them. It is not perfect, but... it's going to have to do. Death or glory, lads. Death or glory in, 17 days when the warp winds down. That slightly undermines the heroic narrative, though. And in they come. Zyrak, here we are. All right, lads. How much is defending this area? 142.4. And then just this. Deploy the bombers. All right, come on. Is this thing even capable of being repaired? Well, it's repaired itself since the last time we were here. Come on, lads. All firepower at the portal. That's right. Just keep nailing the portal. Oh my god, this might actually flipping work. The bombers are going for it. Interdimensional portal. Yes. Yeah, I know the hostile fleet's engaged, but damn it, don't pay attention to them. Ignore them. Just knacker the portal. We can actually take out the portal. Just do nothing but the portal. Yes. There we go. Portal's down to 1/4 of its strength. Oh my god. We might actually be able to take out the portal. The portal is down to... Come on. Oh my god, we actually did it. Dimensional portal in the Zyrak system has been destroyed. This means the Iteration of Ages can no longer receive reinforcement from their twisted realm. The end of the invasion is finally in sight. Profound sense of elation has settled over most of the galaxy. You say this? How exactly are we going to stop what's already bloody here? The Infinite Pond has won much admiration since it was their ship that struck the final blow. What exactly are we planning to do next, lads? Because they've got more coming in, actually. Yeah, actually, we're actually now massively outnumbered. You know what? I think we probably want to be just getting out of here. Lads, just retreat. We don't want to actually engage anymore in this fight whatsoever. Well, actually, if these guys are keeping their distance, they're not keeping their distance. Yeah, get out of here. Just emergency FTL. Retreat somewhere. Retreat over to Birana. Marvellous. Now, we just have the ever so slight problem of the fact that these bastards basically own everything.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Oh, good. There's another hostile fleet right bloody here. Good. Oh, good. We decided to emergency FTL to this area right here where there's flipping. That better not be the Admiral, and that's just a protector. Good. Right, so we're now flipping on top of these bloody lads, and we can't retreat, not for another, well, in theory we can do an emergency retreat. I'd rather not, I'd rather clear these guys out, but if they bring a fleet in on top of us, we'll be able to FTL out momentarily. While on the plus side, Eyes of Honeydew is apparently now flipping up to maximum skill, because he keeps murdering these lads, because we're just stuck taking these bastards out. I'm kind of just hoping no one warps in on top of us, because if they do, we're screwed. I tell you what, we just cleared them out, and no flipping reinforcements showed up. Better and better. Well, now we just need to find a way of getting the fleet actually home, which could be more than a little bit difficult if we keep getting stuck in fights against quite tough little these bastards. Okay, fine. That's good. That's just a bunch of stuff. We're almost back at what is presumably relatively safe space. Oh, not that safe, mind. Oh, and they finally caught up with us with the reinforcements, damn it. Fortunately, at least, we can get our bombers on top of them long before they can get anywhere near us. It does distinctly feel like we can take out a not insignificant part of their fleet before they even get into firing range, which works for me, though we are losing strength quite bloody quickly here. Alright, first murder has cleared that out, but is now down to 31,000 strength. Oh, we've made sacrifices for this. Back into friendly territory, as quick as you bloody like. Okay, and we are back into safe Kithri space. The Kithri presumably, yes, they're actually quite fond of us at the moment because we destroyed a dimensional portal. That actually gets us a little bit of nice credit there. That's good. I'd like us to form a non-aggression pact, Kithri. I think me and you should be friends. Let's be friends. Lovely. There we are. That's our first little step to being better friends with the Kithri. How are you guys, by the way? Even though I destroyed the dimensional portal, they're still not keen on me. Well, screw you then. You know what? I have a feeling like you are a little bit vulnerable at the moment, and as we go into mopping up operations, I feel like this whole tile area could very easily become part of the Infinite Pond Yigits. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the heroes return home. As for the war, well, that is very, very bloody far from over. But really, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to see cleanup when you read the story of a thrilling hero who dives into the lion's den and snatches victory from the jaws of defeat? Do you really ever want to hear about how he mopped up the blood later? No, no, no. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this here is the end of Stellaris. At least here for now. Because not only are we the big damn heroes who destroyed the portal, And thus, sooner or later we can wear down the Unbidden, because by what the game was saying, they now can't reinforce at all. It's literally just what they have. And we can build enough of a fleet to hold them back. We can beat any individual one of their fleets, because, you know, give us a few years, we can be back up to 60, 80, maybe even 100,000 in strength. We can take this area. Clearly, we now want to be better friends with the Kithri, so I think we can now feel a nice little relationship with all these guys. The Buhavilar, maybe we can be better friends with them again. I never had anything against the Buhavilar. Here, would you like to come into our territory? I bet you would. There we are, opening up migration. Lovely, we love you guys. Maybe one day we'll be allies with them again. The Bilnok Cartel. Ooh, hello. Has the Bilnok Cartel lost a bit of, you guys lost a bit of territory in a war against the Lolahandrian Directorate? Also, is the Lolahandrian... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you at war with the Lola... Okay, fine. I think we found something else we need to do with our fleet. Apparently, our friends over here were flipping... I thought I guaranteed their independence. But yes, we can make friends with the Kithri. I'd say the Tiles, they're still being dicks. We just kind of expand in this area. We take what we want. And I tell you what, if we ever need somewhere for our heroes to retire, there is now a beautiful, beautiful little summer home waiting for them over here on the Last Quack, which is a beautiful, beautiful planet. You see there, it's got its own Xeno Zoo, it's got a Paradise Dome, it's got all of this lovely, lovely stuff here. Definitely a physics lab, I'd say. Thank you very, very much. And it's got all the different people, except the Kithri. I think the Kithri don't like living here, but that's fine. The Kithri, like, we've got a different settlement that's, like, covered in Kithri. You see, look over here. This is actually just Kithri world over here on Dothan Prime, and we didn't lose a single world, actually. We managed to keep all our worlds intact. We never lost one to the Unbidden. They were right at the door, but we never did. And I would say that this is the end of the glorious story of the Mighty Ducks, who I would say have a very glorious future ahead of them, because we've kind of come out of that war, seeing now there is just like rampant devastation to the south of us. A whole bunch of broken empires, like the Tiles, like the Kithri, like the Jahabined, who are all down here. Like, there is clearly a lot of pickings to be had out of this, and a whole lot of worlds, including, oh, alien pets. We could go get some alien pets. That would allow us to build more zoos. More alien pets. Yes, definitely. So we could expand down to the south. I suspect in time we would take over a very large area. But you know what? You actually have to literally either take, like, I think it's 40% of all planets in the entire galaxy, or wipe out every other empire to technically win. And I don't think we want to do that. I think we're happy with this glorious little colony down here. The Last Quack, indeed the last colony. Summarising how far we've come, what a lovely multicultural group we are. After everything we'd said originally about that bloody Bilnok, they became our best friends, and we weren't really ever sure about robots, but now we've just got synthetics working alongside us here, and they're very, very happy. We've even got Lolahandrians, who we went to war with. They've come and worked for us as well. They're working as our scientists, and the Kithri elsewhere as well. Oh, I love Stellaris. I love Stellaris so very, very much. It's such a glorious game. And I would not be surprised, by the way, if at some point we come back to it when they've kind of released a new version, because they're still releasing versions and versions and changes and changes. And there's lots of fun stuff they've said might come up, like kind of mid-game crises, so the mid-game's a bit more exciting and dynamic, and fleet formations, and just kind of general kind of balance changes. So I would say we might well come back to this later, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, this is the end of the story of the Mighty Ducks, and a glorious story it has been too, I would say. An utterly glorious story where in the end we've ended up surrounded by friends, people who love us for what we've done. The Ganlarevs have all come round, the Buhavilar, the Bilnoks. It's a nice point to end the story, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin the cleanup and the rebuilding of our fleet with our massive great empire, all these worlds that I love so very, very dearly. And next time, ladies and gentlemen, starting next week, I have something in mind I think you are going to like very, very much indeed. Expect something I think a lot of you are going to be very, very excited by next week, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, from me and from the entire Mighty Duck Empire, including Duckburg itself, which never once fell to alien invaders and everything about it. You know what? Screw it. Why not? Empire Capital Complex. Yes, let's have an Empire Capital Complex to celebrate this victory. And a new race just showed up. Oh, it's a terrifying jellyfish creature. Hello, peace be with you. No, please leave me alone. Thank you. Yes, indeed, with a glorious Empire capital complex that apparently actually produces an influence. Oh, if I'd have known it did that, I probably would have done it earlier. That's actually really, really bloody good that it actually produces an influence. That's really cool. Yes, indeed, with Duckburg and its beautiful fortress and its beautiful little construction ship. That's the one that's been with us since the bloody beginning, by the way. That's been there from the start. And our beautiful, fully upgraded spaceport and everything. Second murder. What are you even doing? Get in first, murder you get. Go on, get in the fleet. There you bloody go. Everyone shuffle over, make room for second murder. Lovely. But it has been an utter, utter pleasure to bring you Stellaris, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe expect some more in the future. But in the meantime, I've been John, has been many a true nerd, and thank you all so very, very much for joining me on the journey of the Mighty Ducks in Stellaris. Thank you very much, and goodbye. And our guys go in, and I think we completely missed. We totally missed. And a double charge. Oh, that's what we needed to be seeing. Nice. Give them something to think about while they're going home, Balthazar. Got my timing just about right there. Stupid gits.